What's up, guys? Haven't seen you in a while. I've been busy with school and work. And Mike was like, hey, you have to update all Poor Man Mod viewers about your car because you've done some things. And I was like, not really. I haven't done that much. Like, there might be some things, but then I thought about it, and the last time this was on the show was when I did the seam welding, and at that point, it was all disassembled and it wasn't shot in primer and it was all taken apart. So you can see here, it's pretty much all mocked up. It's all together. I mean, it was pretty cool when I got it all put together. I was like, wow, this is kind of what it's gonna look like, and I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, so I guess I'll go over some of the things I did. Obviously, you saw me seam weld the whole front unibody. That's because I want to get a little bit extra torsional rigidity up front when I'm at the track. I'm not racing against other cars because I know, like, I'm probably not that great of a driver, and I'm afraid I'll fuck it up and hit someone and all this work is going to be destroyed. So it'll just be timed events like autocross and just casual track days and cars and coffee, whatever. But I want this thing to kind of mimic a 60s Trans Am race car, something like Carroll Shelby would build. But obviously the teardrop hood, it's carbon fiber, that was off of Fairlane. And they're very popular Mustangs on the day, but you wouldn't see these hoods on a Trans Am car. But originally when I built this car, or when I was building this car initially, I planned on doing a drag racing build, but then I realized that I kind of want to go around turns at 50 miles an hour instead of 20 miles an hour. So I decided to go for the full road course build, but I kept the hood because the hood it has so much character, it adds so much attitude to the car. And a lot of road course cars, especially Mustangs, have hood scoops right here. And if you think about it, it's kind of doing more harm than good because that's adding drag to the car. And also, I took a whole class on fluid mechanics, so I learned about how air flows over a car and stuff. And basically, when the air hits the front of the car, like, some of it goes into the radiator, some of it goes into the engine bay, stuff like that. And then the air also kind of flows up, and it kind of flows on top and then smashes back down. So basically, that hood scoop is there for nothing. So if you think about it, at high speeds, an air scoop up top here is kind of starving an engine, especially if it's sitting down low. So a teardrop hood is even better because all the air coming into the engine bay, all that hot air is basically being trapped and it's slowing the car down, but then this teardrop hood basically lets all that hot air escape from the engine bay, reducing drag, and it helps with engine performance because it lets all that hot air escape. But right now I don't have hood pins on it yet because I'm still getting the body panels aligned. But you see this is the original 289 that came with the car. I put it in the car just so it wouldn't take up space in the garage. And plus I hate the look of a car when it's sitting in a garage, all front ends, all jacked up.
Looking like a gasser.
Yeah, I mean, like, gassers are cool, but I like the front end sitting a little lower, so I couldn't stand seeing this car with no engine in the front, so I put it in. So starting with the engine, big things that I did. I had to replace this whole panel right here. I got it from a great company called CJ Pony Parts.
Hey, I work there.
Yeah. And that whole battery tray, actually I'll show you what it looked like originally over here. Batteries tend to corrode things, and mine looked even worse than this. There was big holes, so had to replace this whole panel. Another thing, if you kind of show the view right here, this is another 66 Mustang, it's my dad's. This is what a stock engine bay looks like, and you notice there's a bunch of holes for body plugs and wiring and stuff, and heater hoses, stuff like that. But if you look over here, if you look carefully, I eliminated most of that stuff because what I plan on doing is basically starting all over. I'm gonna start with a fresh palette. I'm gonna have a small block Ford in here, probably just a crate engine like a 302 or something. I'm not going too crazy initially because I don't want to kill myself. But I'm gonna do individual throttle bodies, and I basically want to do a whole new wiring harness, whole new plumbing up front, and that basically causes for holes to be totally relocated. So I just want a really, really nice, clean looking engine bay. But yet I wanted to keep some stock features in the car, like these body lines here, all these structural dimples and all that stuff. But yeah, there's a bunch of little touches here, especially if you know early Mustangs, a lot of little touches that I basically eliminated and smoothed out. And I think it'll be really cool when it's done. I think it'd be cool to run this car around with no hood and just have the engine bay looking really nice and pretty. So let me put this back on, just because I love seeing this hood in place.
You know, I saw a YouTuber that I follow was at Pebble Beach for a car show, and there was some kind of exotic car there that had the same idea that you wanted to do, where the shifter linkage was upside down. Yeah,
I thought about that, and I think it'd be cool because basically what I was trying to do is mimic a Lanco transmission, something you'd see in a drag car, but I scrapped that idea because I think that'd be kind of coming off as like try hard.
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit too much. So obviously you can see in here, the seating position is completely changed from stock. You can see, if you look carefully, these 4 holes, that's basically where the seat was originally. And I bought a Sparco racing seat, and I basically lowered the seat and pulled it back. I forget how many inches, I think it was about 6 inches back and 4 inches down. But what I want to do here is, it helps out with weight distribution, but honestly it's all about attitude. I think it's really badass, like you're sitting in the car, like you're in the car and you're hunkered down really low. It's just like, it's so cool looking. It's pretty much why I did it. So, I mean, like, I'm not really for like doing some poser stuff with cars, but I mean, like, this adds the whole race car vibe. And the whole dash up here is stripped down. The whole interior is basically going to be bare steel floor. It's going to look like a full race car interior, and it'll handle like a race car. So it'll be a very casual race car, but really, I'm gonna say I love the seating position. You just sit down here, you're just like hunkered down. It's so cool. But yeah, the whole shifter thing, I have a top loader 4-speed in here right now. What I plan on doing, obviously because I moved the seat back so far, the seat's not bolted in yet, so it's just sitting here. I'm going to basically have the stock shifter come up right here, and then there's going to be another shifter up here. It's going to be sticking up, and then there'll just be a little linkage right here. And it'll be like a cool little functional piece. It'll be very clean, simple. I'll probably get a machine shop to, or maybe even fabricate it myself. We'll see what happens, but I want it to be a very clean looking shifter mechanism. And then obviously, when I'm totally seated, I can't reach the lighter, the lights, wiper, stuff like that. So I'm going to have a little switch panel right here. And you see that in race cars where the seat's totally pulled back. And then the steering wheel is going to be extended back. I'm going to have a pedal box in here. So it's a lot of work. It's pretty much unnecessary, but it's just the look that I'm going for. Like, I love the look of a radical race car interior. So yeah, and obviously you can see right here I had a notch transmission tunnel, and what I did to prevent the seat from tearing out in the event of a collision was I added seat channels underneath here to add to the strength of the seat mounts. And I had to obviously make the transmission tunnel a little bit narrower, and that causes some problems with exhaust packaging. And what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm going to have to get that oval shaped exhaust instead of the round, just for ground clearance issues, and it's probably going to run right underneath the seats on the other side of the floor. And then roll cage. This is the roll cage that you guys saw in a really old episode. I kind of modified it because I have a new seat in here. When I had seats in here initially with just a straight bar going across for the harnesses, I was really close to the dash, and I'm 6'3", so I was kind of cramped up. So I had to basically create a new harness bar right here with these curves, and that helped out the seating position a lot. And you'll also notice I added gussets in the X bar. Really, there should be bars coming down right here too, to just add strength to this whole joint right here. But I think doing that would kind of make the back of the car kind of like congested looking. So instead of doing bars coming down through here to add strength, I just added gussets. And I mean, people would probably still argue like a full tube right here will be stronger than gussets, but I mean, this isn't a full-blown race car. I'd say it's probably 60% race car, 40% just for looks, honestly, but it's gonna be a cool little car when it's done. And then you can see right here, I boxed in the factory holes in the stampings on the inner shell of the roof. And if you guys watched Gymkhana 7 on the Unicorn, you'll notice that the Unicorn has the same thing, and that's where I got that from. I really liked what they did, and this car isn't going to have a headliner, and it just kind of makes the back end right here a little bit cleaner. Obviously, all this stuff will be covered up with steel. This too. But yeah, interior-wise, there'll be no carpet, no headliner. It'll be a very functional looking interior. It'll be pretty radical looking when it's done, but I'm trying to keep the whole thing clean too. Anything else?
Wheels?
Yeah, obviously wheels. Like I said, it's gonna be a road course car. The road course wheels that I want are way out of my price range right now. I had these wheels sitting around. These are actually off of a Chrysler police car, I think, or some sort of Chrysler product, but it has the same bolt pattern as a Ford. It has Mickey Thompson ET Street Radial Pros on them. I bought these wheels, God, I don't know, probably over 10 years ago, and I love the look of these wheels. Unfortunately, they won't be making their way on this car permanently because these are meant for drag racing. And this is going to be a road course car, so this will probably make it onto one of my dad's cars or a future project of mine. And you'll see the lug nut here is missing. That's because the inner splines in here on one of the lug nuts was wrong. I'm trying to deal with the company to try to get new lug nuts, but they haven't responded, so I'm going to have to find new lug nuts. Then you see here the good old Ford Hypo 289 badge. That's definitely staying on the car. I love that badge. I just love engine badges in general. It's just a trademark 60s thing, and I love that. And then front apron, that's a huge thing that I did last summer. I bought it, and it completely exposes the radiator. It allows for better cooling efficiency. And then these right here are for the brake cooling ducts. There should be a turn signal thing right here, but I believe that they sell headlights with turn signals built in. I plan on getting those just so I can eliminate a whole turn signal thing up front here, just for a cleaner look. But yeah, future plans. Probably the next thing is I'm adding a A-pillar bar to the roll cage. I have the tubing, it's sitting underneath the car right now. I plan on buying a tubing bender because the one that I bought at Harbor Freight Tools is a piece of shit, and it's a miracle that I bent this tube right here with the Harbor Freight pipe bender, because those benders basically kink a pipe, and a pipe bender is supposed to roll a pipe on top of a die. And I had to heat the thing up with MAP gas and do it really slowly, and the pipe bender almost broke. So don't use a Harbor Freight pipe bender for roll cages. It's a waste of your time.
I used it for my bash bar.
Well, that was a lot thinner tubing than this is like 1 3/4 diameter tube.
True.
Another thing is I'm going to do shear panels along the A-pillar bar that's welded to the A-pillar itself. You see them on drift cars a lot, some road course cars, like with the dimples, the little holes. I love that too. It's just, it's gonna look so good. But another thing probably after that is I'm gonna buy rear suspension and front suspension. That's gonna be pretty expensive. It's probably gonna be a couple years before I can do that, just because I'm almost done school, but then just work and life is going to be getting in the way here shortly, because I'm going to be moving out of my parents' house, and I honestly want to move out of my parents' house more than I want to finish this car right now. So trust me, this thing is my baby. I'm never going to forget it, and you guys are definitely going to be updated. Don't expect anything from this car in the next month or two. I plan on having Mike film me do the A-pillar modification on the roll cage when I actually get a pipe bender. That'll be pretty cool. And then, I mean, little things here and there you guys will probably see, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. I know most of you guys are import fanatics, but it's nice seeing a little bit of change here and there. So. But yeah, I'm pretty excited for it, so stay tuned.